Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Wisconsin Arts Board's walkthrough of our Creative Communities Final Report form. We are going to take you through the form itself, and I am Karen Geschko. I'm the Assistant Director at the Wisconsin Arts Board, and with me is...
I am Caitlin Burrell. I'm the Folk and Traditional Arts Coordinator at the Arts Board.
And Dale Johnson, Grants and Information Specialist at the Arts Board. So when you log in to your account, you should see a portal similar to this. This is for a test application that we use here at the Arts Board, so you won't see anywhere near this many items in progress or submitted. You'll probably see one or two. But this is the area that you're concerned with for a final report. It appears in this requires attention section, and you just click on the in progress icon, and you should see something that says final report. If there's more than one, it may say grant agreement like this one does, but you're concerned with the final report. So you open that, and there you have it. The first tab that displays just brings information forward about your organization. So give this a look just to make sure it's current. If for any reason some of that needs changing, you can change a lot of it by accessing your profile, which you do by clicking the icon in the upper right-hand corner of your screen and choosing Organizational Profile. But if everything is good, then you can either click the next tab or click the next icon here, and you'll end up at the Project Details tab. You may have put something in your application for this, but if anything has changed, we still need it here. So make sure you put the actual start and end dates of your project here, the artistic discipline of your project from this pull down. So just pick the one that comes closest. Same with type of activity, whatever this is, just choose the closest one from this drop-down list.
Please know that for Creative Communities, you won't be choosing 11 or 25 or 26, which is what we put sort of in bold in that gray box. You're going to actually do what Dale said and pull the menu down and choose which makes the most sense for this final report from you. Thanks, Dale.
Sure. Similarly, for arts education, we need to know if more than half or less than half or none of it involved arts education. The number of artists that were involved in your project, just enter a number here. Same for the adults, anyone over 18 that was engaged with your project, and also for anyone under 18. We have a couple of other fields here that sometimes cause confusion. Populations benefited by age. We've got some groups here, and what we are hoping to learn is, are any of these 25% or more of the population that was served? So it isn't as simple, yeah, we had some older adults, yes, we had some children. We want to know if it's 25% or more. Same with the distinct groups. Just because you may have had some youth at risk or some individuals below the poverty line doesn't mean you should check this. We want to know if it made 25% or more of the population that was served. So in these, we're expecting you may be only going to check one or two, but they need to be 25% or more. The last item on the Details tab is the activity locations. We need to know where the activity took place. And specifically, since these are going to be compiled on a map, we need physical addresses. So we don't want postal box addresses here. We don't want something that says city park. We need to have some kind of a physical address. So as close as you can come, if there isn't one particular address, needs to go here. So you just click the plus icon here, and you can enter an address. However many activity locations there were, you can just continue adding more until you're finished, and then click Save. And that takes care of the Details tab. You can move on to the narrative in one of two ways, either click the tab or Next.
Thank you, Dale. And as Dale has said, I think before, always click your save draft at the bottom of the page when you're entering information. The narrative is where you get to tell us in words how your project went. So we're looking to find out a number of things about the project. First of all, did you have any significant board or staff turnover during the grant period? If so, please describe. So this is probably just a simple yes or no. If a yes, maybe a sentence on what happened, just in case it did affect the project in any way. And then briefly describe the project. And so this is where you're going to give a synopsis of how it actually went. And it will probably look very similar to what you described in your application, but just in a few sentences. And then we're really interested in any of the differences that happened between what you had planned to do back when you submitted your application and received the grant and what actually happened during the project in its final form. So please share that piece of information. I will say that if it's a tiny change, like, the thing happened on a Saturday afternoon instead of a Saturday morning, or, whatever, then we don't need to know that level of detail. But if there were some changes that you would consider, significant, that did change what you had described originally, please put those here. So the next section is based on the goals that you originally described for the project. How did your project succeed in meeting those goals? Take a look at the goals that you put out in the application form that you submitted, and then, just talk to us about how you succeeded in meeting them or partially meeting them, or if you didn't, why not? And we really are looking for real information. So you don't need to gloss over anything, and celebrate what you can for sure. We're interested in learning how you measured how successful you were in meeting those goals. So whether you did surveys or whether you did focus groups, or whether you observed the audience, or whether you engaged directly in the project yourself, however you did that, that's what we want to see here. And then know that one goal of the Creative Communities program is community involvement. So how was the community involved in the planning of this project, in the evaluation of this project, in the artistic activities of this project? This is where you talk about that. And then the next section is talking about the impact that your project had on the community that you served. And it's the impact that it had from the community's perspective more than your own. So if you've heard stories or you observe something happening with someone or a group of people that were engaged in the project, then this is what we'd like to know in this particular section. And we have a few examples of this kind of public value impact on the Creative Communities webpage. So you can go there and take a look if you're looking for more specifics on what we're looking for here. And then please provide a brief description of any opportunities that you gave to legislators to get involved in the project activities, whether that's thanking them at a performance or an event opening, or whether they came to one of your educational outreach activities, if you invited them to that. Whatever. We'd like to know what you tried and what worked and what didn't. And then, of course, did you include the Arts Board's logo and the NEA logo and the credit language for both on your materials and on your website? And then finally, anything else you'd like to add, anything we didn't ask that you wished we would have? That's what you put in that final box there.
And we're going to click on over. We have a budget summary tab here, but I think if you actually begin with the project budget tab, it might help you fill in that project summary tab. The project budget is a carryover from your original proposal. So you will see the figures that you entered in your application. If those were estimates for income, or if you had some pending income, please be sure to update all of those figures. You'll also want to make sure to update, your original request amount will be in here, but the actual award amount in your income. And then if you scroll on down to the bottom there, Dale, once you've used that purple tab there to box to open up and edit the budget, you will see this total project income and total project expenses. Those should balance just as they should have in your application, but you will use those numbers then under that project summary tab. Those total project income, total project expenses will be your total income, total expenses. Grant amount spent, we anticipate that that is equal to the grant award, and this will kind of autofill in there for you based on what you were awarded. And then your in-kind, and there's also There's also a line for that in that full project budget under the project budget tab. So you're welcome to fill those in ahead of the project budget, but I think it would be helpful to maybe start with the full project budget, make any revisions to your original budget, and then fill in this budget summary tab. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and save those tabs, and we will hop over to support material. And here is where you'll upload your documentation of the project. So any photos that you've captured over the course of the project, and if there's other material, including, press coverage, press clippings, or other documentation, feel free to upload that in that additional materials added section. And then we will ask you just to describe how the uploaded material relates to the project. So very similar to the application form, but this will be your documentation of the project. And then finally, the certification tab. Again, very similar to what you saw in the application. Here is where you will use this box here to kind of attempt to scribble your signature and complete the name of person filling out the report, title of person filling out the report, date, and then you will go ahead and submit your final report.
Thank you, Caitlin. Thanks for joining us for this walkthrough. And if you have any questions, as always, contact our staff, Dale or Karen or Caitlin, through the email that you have because you received a grant, and so you have all of our contact information, or you can call us at the numbers that we have on our website. Thanks. Take care.